Wow, wow, wow.
It gets your kids to go out, you bust your butt every day as hard as you can, give 100% effort so that people will give you an opportunity. You do everything right, and then you go home and you.
Don't get him started. We'll get on that shit a little bit later on.
If it ain't white, it ain't right.
Fellas, how's it fucking going, fellas?
Man, it's been a while. Been a while.
Say it one more time just for the people in the back.
It's been a while.
Quile.
While.
So, yeah, I mean, shit, episode 166, fuck all that extra introduction shit. Man, how you guys been? I'm going to just let you guys go. Yeah, how the fuck you guys been?
Hey. Things have changed in the Gotti household since the last time we've been on this motherfucker. I should have changed my name. It should be Papa Gotti right now.
Papa Gotti. That sounds like some Jamaican from Shatas or something. They said, you go to Papa Gotti. Oh, yeah, good.
Hey, yeah. Not Papa John's. Papa Gotti. No, it's been cool, man. Just getting adjusted to as the world is learning the new normal.
The new normal way. Being a daddy of this COVID that's still there. Shit.
Oh yeah, we still in a pandemic. No, just being a dad, learning my son.
Right.
That's the real thing, man. It's a real adjustment. Like things that obviously motherfucker, you've been a dad longer than all of us.
Nigga, that was 13, 14 years ago. I don't remember that little fucker.
Nah, that nigga's still adjusting.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
He kicks my ass on a regular. She's like, Dad. and that's what I get too. That's what I get. Because when he couldn't even talk, right? I would make fun of him and say, "Oh, he was gonna sound like that. He was gonna sound like that." I spoke that shit into existence like a motherfucker. Dad,
that's usually how it goes.
Right. Dad, can I have some pizza today? First of all, you need to go in there and go get a job application, you big motherfucker. Mm-hmm. You need to go and find something else to do around here.
Yeah, but no, it just, like I said, just getting adjusted. Like I said, them nights where you kick our ass, and them 3 o'clock feedings and those type of things, and but he's been a good kid so far. We haven't had too much of a major, like damn, we ain't getting no sleep like that. We had a couple of days like that, but
right.
Whenever he's crying, there's usually a reason.
Right.
It's just up to us to figure out what that fucking reason is.
Right. I'm saying it's up to you. It's gonna be one of 3 things: eating, shitting, or you may feel a little but you sick or whatever. But hey, you can tell that shit real quick because they just completely out of it.
Yeah, and he hasn't. Like I said, it's been eating. I'm hungry. I'm uncomfortable. Like burp me or something like that, or change my diaper or some shit like that. It hasn't been too much outside of that. And it was like, okay. And then now he starts to sleep on his stomach now. And when he sleep on his stomach, that motherfucker be out.
shit. Think about yourself.
Mouth open and everything. Yeah. They said, yeah, go on and take that hour nap.
Go ahead and take that. You got some time to pick up some shit or something, do something.
Yeah. That's exactly like I was here today. Like, man, I had to, do some things I had to fix a little thing on the car and do this and do that. I can, the wife is here. He's out. Make moves real quick. Yeah. Get out the house, and then out the back.
Yeah, that's good shit. That's good shit. But congratulations, again, we gave
Thank
Jamal his
you.
congratulations on his twins that steadily kicks his ass as well. But again, congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Gotti on what's your son's name?
Sebastian.
All right,
Sebastian Delano Gotti. In
Sebastian
full coverage.
Seabass
Sea
Bash
Bear.
for short.
Bash.
He
Bash for short.
he does sound like a mobster. We have to say that.
Sebastian
Like all
Delano. Yeah,
all
he's like
three
this is like.
names. Like all three names. Even though
Yeah,
damn.
fuck it.
Hey,
Might as
mine sounded like a mobster name, so I might as well go on and pass it
yeah.
you
down.
might as well. You
But
might as well.
in fairness, the African Gotti was the first Gotti before the Italian Gottis. They were around
Yes.
before Italians even existed. So just put
Appreciate
that in
that, Smiles.
perspective.
Yeah. This is true. The African Gotti was the first Gotti. However, if you see Lil Seabass do this shit one day, run, nigga. Yeah. Just run.
Aladdin.
Yeah. Hey, Dad. I got a question. Yeah, it's a rap, kid. But that's good. That's good, man. That's good. Jamal, what's been going on with you, brother? What's gonna be going on with you?
Same shit, man. Just
Look,
dealing with these kids,
they
and
kicking his ass. They kicking his ass. Look at
they're kicking my balls.
Yeah. So what
I told y'all
happened?
this story earlier today, but so me and my wife and my daughter and my son are in the bed this morning because they sleep. They probably sleep maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then they wake up and realize they're in the crib, and and then you gotta bring them into the bed, right. So now I'm like, you ever seen Cliffhanger with the Sylvester Stallone movie?
Yeah.
That's how I sleep
Yeah.
when they're in the bed. You away on the side,
Yeah.
hanging on with two fingers.
It's like
So I'm laying in the bed. So needless to say, when they're in the bed, you're not really, really sleeping good, but you're sleeping. It's fine.
right.
So anyway, alarm clock goes off. We just want a couple extra minutes. That's it. Now, kids, of course, like to get up early, right?
Right.
So they up, making noise, moving around the bed. My son is like right there. I'm trying to kind of like hold him so he don't move around because, I could just let him go, but that motherfucker will go anywhere. Like he just climb off the side of the bed and like feeling like what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
So I got him right next to me, and so I'm just like chilling there. He's whining and shit, and so like he gets quiet for a second, then he starts like he's trying to get out of straight.
How was he doing? How was he doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was like, bro, if you want to go and use power, like that's not gonna work. I'm just gonna. I squeezed my my left arm a little bit tighter, so he couldn't get out like he was trying to.
Right.
And this dude kicks me so hard in the balls. I go jump on my wife instinctively. This is how those parental instincts come in. Instinctively grabs him to get him out of the way because she's like anything can happen now, right? And
all cards is on the table. All cards are on the table.
Get kicked, now only men can relate to this part because I got kicked in one ball. He caught me right in a spot where just one ball was exposed in that particular spot. The other ball was over there doing his thing, right?
He was playing hide and
so much
seek.
worse to get kicked in one ball than two. Like you gotta when you get kicked in a whole area, you spread. It's not good still, but you spread out the impact over a surface area, right?
Right.
One ball took the entire fucking karate kick. And then this motherfucker has the nerve to start crying. You the victim? This nigga is I called him Karen after that. I was like, you attack me and then you start crying.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Hey, your son said, you think I'm playing?
Oh, God damn it! All right, Mr. O'Neill.
God damn. Oh yeah. I don't miss them kind of stories. Fuck that. Yeah. Let me go hug my son next time I see you. PJ, where you at, man? Love you, buddy.
Yeah, he has. I said mine is only 2 months, so he ain't there yet. So
But also,
it ain't gonna take long.
Also, new Mr. Robinson has a new abode. So that's
you know, roaches have kids, no big deal. You know what I'm saying? But it is, nice little area,
Man,
you know.
don't downplay your come up niggas.
I mean, like I
Yeah.
said,
I see your digital. I see your digital thermostat back there.
that
You
shit
know.
got three buttons on it, motherfucker. Shit. Up, down, cool. That's it.
I mean, what else you need? What else you
Yeah.
need?
I mean, at the end of the
Hey,
day.
this morning it wasn't too cool for us, man. Our power went out in the whole damn block.
Oh
Mm.
damn.
Nigga, we were up, obviously we're up. Kids love to get up early, he's up, just fed him. So I just put him back down. So I'm just like kind of, I can relax just a tad bit because I know at least gonna be down for an hour and some change,
Right.
hopefully 4 or 5 hours. So I'm relaxing. I'm looking, I'm watching TV, and all of a sudden, what the fuck? First instinct like, damn, did we pay our bill?
Yeah. Go check the app. Go check the app.
So I'm like, so I come out, go outside. I'm kind of walking around trying to see if I can survey the scene. Like, is it just us? Damn, I hope it ain't just us. Pray God, it ain't just us.
Yeah. Hey, walk outside, get to looking like this and shit.
Yeah. So I'm outside, kind of looking around, and one of our neighbors comes out, and she's like, "Did y'all power go out?" I was like, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "Yeah, our power's off." Shit. Okay, not just
somebody call Encore. Somebody call
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, get these motherfuckers on the line right now.
Yeah.
So, I get in the car and I kind of just drive around, the block a little bit, make the block real quick to see kind of if more people are kind of outside looking lost. And
Right.
it was, okay, this is like a little subdivisions problem. I was like, okay, so it can't be, they can't have it off that long because shit, it's gonna be 110 here in a little bit, and motherfucker got work. And then we was already go. My wife.
What you mean they can't have it off that long? You was
No.
here doing Snowmageddon. Yes, they can.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they can, but we're looking at. I'm like, man, they better, get on their motherfucking P's and Q's and get this shit fixed.
Right.
I come back in the house, the wife already. Well, we gotta take the stuff out of the refrigerator and put it in the cooler. I'm like, whoa. Let's give it a little time. Damn, we ain't went to Defcon's point yet.
She went straight to survival mode. I like it.
Man, straight to
again.
Hey, that was our first thing. She's like, "Fuck, I gotta think like I was in the snow." It was like it was like the snow again.
Oh. Yeah, that's what. Hey, everybody that lived in the state of Texas when that snow shit happened, whether it's snow, whether it's heat, or whether it's anything, if anything, you remember tissue paper last year. You know what I'm saying? So if anything jump out, fuck that. We're going into complete survival mode.
But you remember what they said? You remember what they said about that ice storm, right? Where they said they were like hours potentially of the shit going down for good, like, and not for good, but like, but it would have been down for weeks, if not more than a month.
That sounds about right.
And so that shit woke my ass up. I was like, all right. So I mean, ice storm is not that.
We'll get to that here in a little bit, Terry.
That shit could happen again. It's not so crazy that it could never happen again.
No.
So that made me start thinking like, do I need a fucking generator? Like, because you start thinking like, okay, if I was without power for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I mean, I'm gonna survive, right? I'm a roach, but the rest of these motherfuckers in the house, dead, right? So you start making me think about, okay, I gotta like figure something out for them.
Right. Well, and those are things, and I will say this though, like with everything that's going on, and obviously we'll talk a little bit more in depth about certain things later here in a little bit, but with everything that's going on, everybody's getting their instincts about them, right? Everybody is like, okay, whether you
pile up on this, getting their instincts.
I'll put it to you this way: the people that I deal with, right? You know what I'm saying? People that I see, just kind of the general type of person, right? That I would hang around with. You know, everybody's like, you know what? No, like you said, I do need a generator, or no, I do actually need to load up on this, or no, I do need to load. You know, like certain things are happening that way, which is great. At the same time, it's just making people charge more for the shit. But you know, that again, different story for a different day. But I will say this. We're gonna segue and we're gonna just jump right into just some dumb shit. Okay, just some absolute, positively dumb shit. Y'all ever heard of the expression of "don't bring a knife to a gunfight"? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we've all heard of that one.
Yeah, I think everybody for the most part has heard of that one. Now, this group of people in Fort Worth, if you haven't been out to Dallas or Fort Worth, anything like that, Fort Worth is, you know, what it is. But this group of people, there was a gentleman that had a disagreement with someone and went back and became stupid and got a gun and, you know, started to shoot. Now, when he started to shoot, the people that was around him started throwing bricks and stuff.
Stone him!
Yeah. And for the life, like the one part that obviously isn't funny, someone did actually die from all of this. Like not him, the person that got stoned to death. Fuck him, he's stupid. But you know, he ended up shooting somebody, and you know, they ended up dying from that. But everybody that was at this little party that they was at went and grabbed a bunch of bricks and just beat this dude ass and just stoned the dog shit out of him. Jesus would have been very impressed by all of this.
Yeah. That is something Jesus would have done.
Yeah. Is this before or after the cross? I'm trying to figure out. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so to me, it's just like you hate to hear stories like this, but this shit is real life. Like people really do this kind of shit, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, man, you got motherfuckers still think, you know, motherfuckers think just because you go get a weapon or something like that, motherfuckers are just gonna obviously just get, you know, cower down and like, oh my god, you know,
Right.
especially when you got numbers on a motherfucker. It's tough to just say, oh yeah, this group of people, just because I got this pistol, is gonna be like, oh yeah, we need to run. Like, yeah, there's gonna be somebody gonna be brave enough to help your ass, and they go to this ass to death.
Especially depending on the crowd, man. Like it's not North Park where somebody dropped their skateboard and they go running thinking this is fucking shit.
Right.
Yeah. It's not. There are some people in the world where you pull a gun on them and they're like, you ain't gonna shoot me.
Bring it on.
They exist.
They said them motherfuckers
exist.
I've been waiting for a motherfucker like this.
Yeah, I've been waiting on it.
Because it's mainly because they can smell the bitch assness on you. So they're like, bitch, you not fitting up. I'm about to stone you to death.
You got stoned to death in 2021.
There are certain ways to die where so I believe that the universe, God, first of all, whatever God there is, had to have created humor, right? Because you created everything, created humor.
Sure.
Yeah.
It has to be funny. You brought a gun to a rock fight. And you lost.
And you lost.
I don't give a damn how many people were out there. You lost, bro. And the police, were like, they were like, well, we always say, like, don't take these kind of things in your hand. And it's like, man, fuck you. But it's like
who like everybody got sin on their hands, so like who are they gonna charge? Like everybody picked up a rock and pelted this motherfucker. Yeah. For obvious reasons. He was shooting motherfuckers.
He was shooting people. You know what I'm saying? Charges dismissed. You don't even have to go call Johnny Cochran for that shit. Johnny's dead. Who killed Johnny? But yeah, you ain't even gotta do none of that extra shit. It's like
did you say crack?
No, I said a rock, but it could have been that kind.
Different type
of what?
But this is why they say, and I hate that Texas has gotten rid of the whole class or whatever for the CCL license or whatever, because this is what they teach you in the class, bitch. Don't pull it if you're not gonna shoot it. Because
he shot it.
Problems for yourself.
He shot it. But
I guess he did.
Well, see, and that's what makes it even funnier.
If you can't hit people with rocks.
Yeah. Like he pulled it, he shot it, and he took off running, and they chased his motherfucking ass down. They Gaddafi'd his ass.
Man, yeah, that's a terrible way to die. Because if y'all haven't watched to Make a Tyrant on Netflix, is it To Make a Tyrant?
How to Become a Tyrant.
How to Become a Tyrant on Netflix. You should watch that shit. It gives you a little rundown, and yeah, they stone him.
Stone dust leadership.
Shit, I'd be watching that bitch like.
It is a good show. Like Simon said something about it. And then it's a real quick show that you can watch, right? Well, I think every episode like 20, 25 minutes or something like that. Something.
Yeah. So, it's a half hour.
Yeah. You can go through them real quick, and it's like, man, these motherfuckers did come out here. These motherfuckers really did, truly come out here,
and they giving you the playbook.
Yeah, they ran some shit real quick, real fast. The only one that ran it for a long time was the North Korea cats, but then even then they like, man, shit, well, but it's a good show. It is a good show. Very, very intriguing, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
All right. Segue. You know what? As I did that, I was just looking at, remember old chick from back in the day? Watch this.
But you talking about, they gonna pick who they gonna pick, shawty.
yeah. But
we still haven't found her.
No, ain't nobody sent no feelers or nothing. Like, come on, man, somebody find out who the chick is. Because I just need her to do that one time on a drop, and then we good to go. But if you've been hiding up under a rock, which most people have, I guess, but at the same time, it's really not that interesting. The Olympics are on. Yay!
Well, it's going to get interesting this week.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's been interesting. I mean, with the Simone Biles and all that kind of craziness that's been going on. But because track and field start this week. And that's on Summer Olympics. Built around track and field.
That's the real Olympic. I don't give a shit about your fucking all this bull. You're rowing.
Shuttlecock. I seen shuttlecock the other day.
No bullshit. I watched a handball game and some archery, and I was fucking intrigued.
That's because you a fucking weirdo. You see, you like that kind of old bullshit. Nobody want to see. Don't nobody want to see that shit.
Look at that release.
Yeah.
Hey, no, it was. Yeah, the one dude from India. He ended up qualifying, but he was there for a second. That motherfucker release was all over.
First of all, they need to let me redo the Olympics because all the fucking games would be different. First of all, if you're an archer, okay. The whole purpose of archery originally was to hit some shit, right? Kill something so people could eat, right? You gotta hit something moving, bitch. Ain't nothing standing still for you to fucking put an arrow through it.
Yeah.
Zero.
We'll say
level hit something moving, ho.
Level 1 is a goat. Level 2 is a pig. Level 3 is a deer.
Yeah. Nobody gives a fuck about a quarterback who can hit a dude on a stop, right? Yeah. Can you hit me on a post? Can you hit me on a deep drag, a deep out? Like, can you lead me? Can you throw me open? You know what I'm saying? Anybody can just throw to the fucking running back standing still on the flat. We can do that. Literally, we can do that.
Yeah.
Thread that bitch through
this shit.
No.
This shit on this whole motherfucker's career, man. Goddamn. And the motherfucker that was watching. And the motherfucker I was watching.
Because here's the thing.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
And the dude I was watching, his wife in India, he was marrying the #1 archer in the world.
There's a lane for everybody. There's a lane for everybody.
What? Oh man!
Imagine the couple. Imagine the arguments at that house. Didn't I tell you to take the trash out, motherfucker?
Now if shit hit the fan like we're talking about, and the power go out for a month, and these motherfuckers need to eat something, they gonna starve. Meanwhile, Bunny's hopping all around. Bunny's hopping all around this bitch.
And they got all the equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, you should see the motherfucking rigs.
The arrows all over the fucking ground.
Yeah.
You should see they rigs on them archery. You was like, ain't no way in hell you can go hunting with them motherfuckers. Them hoes, they got too many apparatuses on them bitches. Like, goddamn.
Them the ones.
Oh, right it got a what you call it, so the wrist stays stable. And I was like, God damn, this shit is too much.
Look what David said. Look what David said.
Bro, anybody who gets a chance.
He is.
But like, dude,
what?
Anybody read about the old Native Americans or even the fucking Africans, like fucking, but the Native Americans especially, because they were on fucking horses, shoot buffalo who are running 30 miles an hour while their horse is also running in a different direction.
And buffalo big and a bitch.
On top of that motherfucker hitting it, and buffalo, you can't hit that bitch in the side and shit. You gotta hit it in the jugular, in the neck if you want to kill that bitch. That's a fucking archer. That is an archer.
And the motherfucker was on the horse's bare back. They had no saddles.
Yeah. and didn't have no draws on them, probably.
This would be like giving a boxer a championship. This would be like giving a boxer a championship for hitting a heavy bag. It's sitting right there, bitch. Like, there's no.
This nigga really hates these niggas guts.
Hey, when he said that shit earlier, I knew he had something on his mind that he needs to get off his chest. He was like, man, what the fuck are the Olympics for? Because again, there's 90% of the Olympic sports I don't know that they're Olympic sports. Like I said, I saw shuttlecock today. You know my little perverted ass. I seen shuttlecock. I was like, what the fuck is shuttlecock? Oh hell, it was that. Badminton. They got 3-on-3 basketball. So Hoop It Up has made it to the Olympics now.
Wait a minute. Hoop It Up is in the Olympics.
They really have 3-on-3 basketball.
If I had known, nigga, they got 3 on
in the trials. Like who's playing that?
Shit, I don't know. Hey, shout out to Ice Cube because Big 3 gonna be in that bitch sooner rather than later. I'm just saying.
He saw the writing on the wall.
God damn it. The man straight out of Low Cash, a crazy motherfucking name, Ice Cube. He would have ever thought it. I said Low Cash, nigga, that was CB4. But okay, so the question is, right? Because like you guys said earlier, you know, with track and field, that's mainly the thing that, well, a lot of black people watch, right?
I think it's the main event for everybody. I mean, black people probably more so, but for everybody, like, Usain Bolt was the biggest. Even with Michael Phelps winning 600 medals, people still care about Bolt more. Even though he only runs for 10 seconds. Not even.
Yeah, this is true. But when, to Michael Phelps' credit, he had me watching swimming whenever he was in there.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
But
I was watching swimming and I was watching gymnastics too. I like gymnastics.
Oh, Canada has a swimmer, or I think she's a diver, named what's her name? Now I'm blanking on her name, but she's a black girl, the only one in Canada, so you ain't gonna miss her. Let's move on. Let's move on.
But I seen something the other day too, and it may be different now, but the other day, all the Canadian medals they had came from the women's side of things. I was like, oh man, the men probably feel like shit right now in Canada. Maybe.
They should.
They should.
But guess what? If you gave them real Canadian sports, they probably would win.
What's a real Canadian sport? Hockey?
Shooting bears and shit.
Stationary bears? I don't know.
Bullseye. Yeah. Not station. They don't make them kind.
Yeah. What is that? What is that? This shit on the ice is
curling.
Is that Summer Olympics or is that Winter Olympics?
No, that's winter.
Yeah. Canada, that's their Olympics. Like Winter Olympics, that's their shit. You know?
Yeah, that's their wheelhouse.
Yeah, because I tell you what, I'm almost certain Japan ain't going to that shit. Cold, yeah. Fuck y'all.
No. Japan got some mountains. But got a mountain. I don't know.
Now,
the summer is for the niggers.
Yeah. I mean, that's obvious, right?
Right.
We can stand outside for a
Yeah.
little bit longer than everybody else. But shout out to Simone Biles too. I know she's been catching flack about the whole mental health thing. I think she said mental health to be kind of a default thing. Um,
No, it was a mental health thing because
sure.
no, I like gymnastics, so just kind of some of the terminology that they use it won't translate. But like when she said she had the twisties, that's a thing where it's like basically getting the yips, where like if you're doing a
So she
flip and you
simmed
can't.
up.
No, how she sim up and she's the most
You
decorated
said you
motherfucker.
said
It's yeah,
yips.
it's in the same vein. It's like one of those where you kind of when you're in the air, you can't judge where the ground is, so it makes you want to twist. Doing what she does, on a gymnastic floor.
Right.
That's dangerous. Like if you can't tell what's up is down and down is up, nigga, you can't be doing no flips.
That is crazy though. I mean, shout out to all of them. I don't care if you go to the Olympics or anything. You just attempting to do that
Oh,
kind of
did
shit.
she have vertigo or something?
It's a type of vertigo. It's a type of vertigo. It's a
Okay.
gymnastics type of vertigo, where
Ah,
it's
Yeah,
yeah,
like
your
she
vertigo.
your
can't
ass is
sit.
just sit that fucking floor. You talking
Yeah,
about
because
sticking land?
even in the last thing she did was the vault, and you could kind of tell she was off. You never see her that off. Like she might take a little step. Like you could tell in the air she kind of twisted a little bit, and it's like yeah, she wasn't supposed to do that. And she was able to catch herself just because she's a good athlete.
She probably
But
just
she
got
said
traumatic the night before.
and she said, "Nope, I can't do that shit no more." And shit, I got all my all my medals and shit. And I'm good.
Right.
And I mean, she put on for the sport like almost no other. Like basically, she got like 4 or 5 skills named after her. Like
Right. Right.
nobody else in the world has ever done them, and they still can't do them. They even coming into this, the Olympics said they can't judge her like everybody else because nobody can do what she can do. So she gotta come down to everybody else's
Yeah,
level.
I did see something about that because like how they score like the points and shit like that. Like
Yeah, they didn't know how to quantify it.
right, right,
That's
and
fucked
that's
up.
fucked up. That is very fucked up. It's
Like,
like
and
you're so good that they can't even come up with the shit. That's very Wilt Chamberlain. That's very Jordan-esque and very Shacky.
that's that's
Of
very like when Tiger
Yeah,
was running through the
it's like
field
it's like if
in
Shaq would have
golf.
got 1 point.
one
Yeah,
point.
exactly. Exactly. That's a good equation. Like how they used to say when Tiger was at the top at the height of his power, like we got to Tiger proof the course. Like the fuck you mean? Like let them niggas catch up to what the hell I'm doing. Don't be mad because I'm blowing everybody out.
Meanwhile, he been trying to kill
Yeah.
himself ever since. But yeah, like I said, shout out to her. Like I said, she, I'm all for somebody, regardless of what most people think or what even one person thinks. Right? She did what she felt was best for her, and I'm always for that, regardless of the circumstance. I can crack jokes about shit all day, and trust me, I got a million of them.
Hmm.
But it's just, shout out to her. Like people get mad, oh no, you quit on your team. You did, man. Fuck
Look, so
Yeah.
that.
all them
First
all
Yeah.
them
of all,
girls.
first of all, she opened up the door for Lil Lee to win the overalls. Because if she was
But
still
isn't
in
that what I
that
told
shit,
y'all when she left? I was like, this is gonna be somebody else's opportunity
Yeah,
to make a
yeah,
name for
exactly.
themselves. So they're not mad. All them girls have worked their whole life for this moment. They're not work. I mean, I'm sure they would want her on the team or whatever, but they're not worried about her. Like this is about the work I put
me,
in. And yeah, I'm on a team, but I did the work on my
it's an
own.
end of
So
yeah. Gymnastics is still an individual sport. It's only she
yeah,
pulled out of the team aspect of it. All them girls do that shit individually. That's why that was called a team, and there's individual. Yeah, and they and her going out, they still got silver. It was like it wasn't that major of a drop off. Obviously, they probably would have won if she would have jumped. But like I said, like Jamal was saying, like it opened the door for the new gen because she's an old guard. She's 24. I know that's young, but in gymnastics, that's old. Like
That's old as
this
fuck.
is
Yeah,
probably
because
yeah, this is
old girl.
probably her last. This is probably her last Olympics, and the
Yeah, because
reason why she wanted to go to this Olympics because of the shit she was dealing with with that trainer up in Michigan that was molesting all them girls. She wanted to keep that shit alive. So
Right.
that was kind of her motivation to come to this motherfucker. It wasn't to get no more medals. She got the most medals ever. So it was like it wasn't that. Like she
Right.
didn't
She didn't
accomplish
have to do.
everything.
She didn't have to do
Yeah.
that shit. She actually made it a little bit better because even old girl, the I don't know her name, but the I don't know
Which
if
one?
she's Chinese, Japanese, whatever. Sorry, they look alike. And so but like I think she just graduated high school recently. She's
Yeah,
going
she's going to
yeah,
Auburn.
she's going to Auburn, and then like so now with the new rules with the NCAA, it's like well, she gonna be able to make some bread just off of this off rip. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean that and maybe Simone did it for that reason. Yes, no, maybe so. I don't fucking know. But at the same time, you look at it from a different perspective. Instead of saying what Simone didn't do, look at this opportunity that this young lady has, and you know, fuck it, take it from there, man. Like people need to stop like, and I put this on my Facebook page. Simone Biles don't owe you shit. Like you know, all these people you see on TV and all these athletes, they don't owe you a goddamn thing. Yes, by you going to their games or going to their events or going to their concerts, you're putting money in their pockets. But guess what?
Ain't none of the people
It's
talking
true.
shit went to no Simone Biles event.
None of them. None.
They're not out of a single fucking cent. They're not out of a single fucking cent for Simone Biles. So like they can chill with that shit. She don't owe them nothing. And beyond all of that shit, like you're not getting paid. I mean, technically you get endorsements and all. So I do understand she is paid in a way, but the Olympics ain't paying her. Like, so and if she has a fucking issue, mental or if it was just like she woke up and didn't want to be there no more, it's fine. Like you've already done. You've already set the records. You've already.
Yeah, because just think about it. If we'd seen her like everybody have been like, oh, she's so courageous. She tried to go out there and blah, blah, blah. And she was doing it for the country and her goddamn to do it for the country and all
it's that little
bullshit.
white girl. What was that little white girl named Carrie something or another? The one that did that little twist and turn on that little ankle.
Yeah, in the night. That was,
Yeah,
it was her. That's the reason why they're looking at this shit. He done froze up. Look at it. Talking all that shit about his power going out early. Look at him. Oh, yeah. But, Simon, we can't hear you. You need more people. Anyways, but, so what about now? I see your fan moving in the background. Can we see you now, Simon?
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that was.
You know, Wi-Fi. Shit happens. But,
yeah,
but yeah, like I said, it was that Carrie. What was her name though? Somebody give me her name. I don't know.
Carrie Strug.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was right on the first name. She had a chili bowl. Great. But then also with the Olympics, there was and this started before the Olympics even went on, right? And we're all advocates, also known as smokers of the marijuana, but Sha'Carri. Last name Richardson, I believe.
Richardson.
Yeah. So she had some issues, you know, because she failed the drug test, you know, after her mom passed away, and you know, and shit like that. And I emphasize that, you know, mom passed away part because that's fucking important, right? like I don't give a damn who the fuck you are, how old you are, you know, what stature you have in life or anything like that. You have those you have something like that going on, you're gonna you know, just kind of be, you're gonna do some shit, right? And you know, well, you know, people were saying, well, she messed up her opportunity to do this, and the Olympics isn't the end all be all, right? The Olympics is really just a country sitting up here trying to show off their new architecture and just making everybody come out here to go play whatever game that you want to play. So, you know, people are starting to get on my nerves with judging everything that somebody does as if we don't do that shit, or if you haven't done that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
And the thing about it, you gotta put that shit into context. She smoked some weed in a state which was smoking weed is legal after she learned that her mom passed by a fucking reporter that she doesn't know.
Right.
Like, hey, she getting prepped for an interview, and they're like, hey, you know your mom died, right? I'm like, wait, what? Nigga, who the fuck are you, first of all? And then why are you even saying that? Like, let my family tell me that. Again, we can speculate on how her relationship with her mom and all that shit, but
Doesn't
that's
matter.
not
It's your mama.
yeah, that's your fucking mama. Like,
Yeah.
I don't do that shit.
It doesn't matter because like you can say, first of all, people are so like insensitive. Like they say, oh, was her mama didn't like raise her or whatever because of whatever complicated shit they had going on in their family. Yes, but it doesn't mean that she wasn't. You know, anybody who's estranged from a parent wants to, it deep down, no matter how they feel about the person, wants to deep down reconcile that before one of y'all leaves, right? It don't always happen, which makes those types of. So I guess my point is, it's still painful because I'm sure she wanted to have it, and now as an adult, like when you're younger, it's a little bit harder to maybe come up with that empathy or be able to forgive a parent for being absent or whatever their bullshit was. But as you get older as an adult and you start learning about how fucking hard the world can be and different shit doesn't excuse what the person did or whatever, because plenty of people went through that shit and still raised their kids, right? But at the same time, you started, because I know, like, you know, now my dad is not like in no way like a dad. He was there my whole life. He's just different, you know. Like he's not like he's not gonna call you. He's not gonna like. You're not getting that. That's my mom. My mom will call me. She probably call me right now.
He's more,
right? But like he's
dad
just,
more old school
with.
You
can go months. Yeah, you can go months without talking to him, and that in a lot of ways bothered me when I was a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying, and just that's just how the nigga is, right? And now I was angry about it for a long time. I didn't talk to my dad probably for 10 years, right? Because I remember it was a year of all fucking years. Because the one thing we both love is the Saints. And of all fucking years, it was a year the Saints won the Super Bowl. I didn't talk to him until right. So we missed all that good, you know, shit talking. But then, you know what I'm saying? But I probably didn't talk to him again until 2019, you know, because I was so angry because it's like, the whole thing started with me being like, if I didn't call this nigga, like, how long will he really go?
I've done that shit.
Like, hey, what's going on with you?
Yeah, I've done that shit with my pops too.
And it went a long time. It went a long time, over a year. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not that bad of a kid. Like, you should be, you know, at least not sad to have me as your son. So I was like, well, fuck it. You don't want to talk to me, I don't want to talk to you. Right? Now that shit don't
being
work.
petty.
Right? I did it, but it wasn't the right thing to do. And I say all that to say, like, as much as a strained relationship, you can be like, oh, fuck that nigga, you know. At the end of the day, you do want to reconcile it, which we're working on. Well, been working on for the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? And so I could imagine from her perspective, having whatever fucked up situation she had and wanting, especially as her life is coming to an apex, she's starting to achieve things and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure as a part of that, she couldn't be successful professionally but still have this hole personally. So I'm sure she wanted to reconcile that. And it sounds like they were going slowly towards that, but it's not. When you're estranged from a relative, like a close relative like that, it's not like we just have a conversation like on TV or a movie and it's all good. Like, it takes time because the wounds that were created took time to create. Yeah. And so that was snatched away from her, that reconciliation where her and her mom may have never been like it would be with somebody whose mom, you know, actually raised them, but they could have had a real relationship, and she lost that. So, you know, she did still lose her mother. It's not like, oh, she didn't raise me.
Right.
So
you know,
and that to me, that was where, like, are y'all just looking at this situation like, oh, she was stupid because she smoked weed? Like, no. Like, again, we all partake in smoking weed. We've all used it for different reasons at different times in in our life. Sometimes it's just kind of you want to be high. Sometimes, man, I had a stressful day, kind of want to decompress. My body's kind of tense. I want to just kind of to be able to take a sigh of relief, and you know, the gambit in between. Like for her to say she smoked some weed and then she came out and said, I'm not playing the victim. I knew when I smoked this weed, I knew what the fuck I was doing. I knew I could lose my chance of going to the Olympics, and I still chose to do that. Like when somebody says that to your face, take that shit as face value. Like, don't try to degrade her. Don't try to put her down or say she's gonna be this or she's an addict now because she couldn't stop smoking. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, you're talking about somebody that you have no affiliation to, and you're just taking a snapshot of their life and saying, and then you're projecting the rest of it. Oh, well, they're gonna be like this and this, that's it. Because if you're doing like this and you got to go to the Olympics, it shouldn't be. You don't. Once you qualify for the Olympics, you should be in like motherfucker. You sound like a motherfucker that's never competed at a high level at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you competed at a high level, you know how stressful that shit is. I'm just talking maybe on varsity football or some shit like that, or play college ball or something like that. Just think about that times 100, because this motherfucker's got literally every 4 years that's on the time to basically make my name legendary. That's my own.
Well, make your name legendary, but I also will say this. Again. It's 7 billion people in the world, man. Everybody has their own path to do certain things. I'm hating when people try to pigeonhole somebody to a certain standard. Like, oh, well, you're an Olympian, and remember these Olympians back in the day and all this other shit. Yeah, you remember the Olympians that held up their fists and y'all call them niggas for doing the shit? Yeah, same Olympians, right? Remember, Olympians that, went out and did some old, what do they say? The biggest cesspool in fucking sports is Olympia Row, whenever they out there doing all that.
That nigga be fucking.
Yeah, so cut the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, cut the bullshit when you're trying to like put people in these boxes. And then on top of that, you also have a scenario where if you look at the age of most of these Olympians, we're older now. Are we the oldest people on the block? Fuck no. When you look at the age of some of these people, I'm sorry, they're kids. They are children. Again, 21, 24.
Richardson is what, 21? She just turned 21?
21. Again, and I'll be goddamn if I, at the age of 21, could have dealt with any other kind of pressure that this motherfucker got going on, right? I couldn't even handle being a goddamn daddy at that goddamn point. So let alone having to worry about representing my country and doing what I
and then being the face of a brand, like being the face of $1 billion brand.
And then on top of that, what happens is, and I think especially with like athletes, even actors, artists, singers, rapper, whatever, what happens is they turn what you love turns into a business, and when it turns into that business, you lose the love for it. Just because it's like, I just really want to get up and run all day. Well, no, you got a 3 o'clock, you got a 5 o'clock voiceover, then you got a 7 o'clock this, and then you got a 10 o'clock this. Say, man, god damn, not everybody is LeBron James, man. Not everybody can do this shit.
Like I said, and to do without a misstep. Like, it's a misstep. Like, everybody's prone to fuck up. Like
Marv Albert bit a stripper on
the booty.
Yeah, he bit I think it was on the stomach. Regardless, Marv Albert bit a prostitute on the motherfucking stomach or ass, either one, and he just got a nice little send off on TNT. Bring that up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, like again, if you're gonna cast these stones, boy, you better be walking on water.
You better be Russell Wilson. You better be Russell Wilson.
And that's the shit that irks me. Like, even like y'all are saying these things to these kids, but they're kids. These are still kids. You're saying these things to these kids, like let the kid grow up and have perspective and things of that nature. The things you get when you age and mature and shit like that. Like I said, I don't expect motherfucking Richardson to do this shit again. But if she did, who gives a fuck? Only reason we give a fuck is because she runs fast.
Right.
If she was just some chick, she from South Dallas. She just regular chick from South Dallas. We from Duncanville or whatever, DeSoto. We would not give a flying fuck.
You got an opportunity to represent your country.
Man, you don't shut the fuck up, man. Man, get the fuck out of my face with that shit. That's that shit that just like it's. And I get that, you know, it's one of those that irks me because like you're taking a snapshot of a child's life and you're projecting this like this is what they're gonna be because they did this action. And while you do that action yourself every fucking day.
Right.
Just because they put her on TV, she's supposed to be different. Like, no, man, she's prone to fuck up. And then, like I said, taking the whole situation into totality with the mama passing and this and that, and you know, trying to go out there and be the, you know, people are saying she's the next FloJo, and it's like, dog, like, nigga, do you understand what the fuck that is? I don't think you do. Like, because motherfucker, if you're saying that, you've never dealt with any type of expectation in your life.
Zero. Why Jamal got that look on his face?
Look,
I don't know. You just had this look.
I was trying to see who we drafted. The NBA draft on, so I was looking at that. But,
okay. Which side note, before we segue, I'm gonna say this. This is the most unenthused draft I have probably ever witnessed. Right. The only time that somebody cried, which was very sad.
Y'all ain't got no pick.
I'm not worried about that shit. I don't need draft picks anyways. Fuck them. But the only one that looked enthused was Terrence Clark's mom, which, you know, Terrence Clark, if you don't know, died in a car wreck last year. That was they did not have to release that footage. Yeah, that was fucked up. But who y'all just got Steven at? Oh no, y'all traded. Y'all got Valanciunas for real?
Nigga, that trade happened like 3 days ago.
I'm about to say that already happened, right?
But again, I don't know until this kind of shit.
But you know you don't know with the NBA because like they'll do trades, but the way the whole shit works out, like shit don't always be
He's
done.
probably getting,
he might
getting bought out in this.
Yeah, they put it in principle.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. He's 20-10 guy. I wouldn't mind keeping him, but we don't even know if the nigga's staying. So
segue. I just want to put this one out there too.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
That dude be retweeting my shit.
He what?
When I say I can't stand when people say that, man.
Well, that nobody wants to work anymore. It just, depends on depends on your financial situation. I mean, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, look.
Well, my point is the unemployment rate is like 5-6%. Okay, what's the other 94% doing? If nobody wants to work anymore.
hey, but that 5%, everybody knows somebody that ain't working no more.
Some people are so concerned that somebody is sitting at home comfortable getting a check. That bothers some people so much, you know.
Yeah, because
it's like
that if that person gets up and work, it solves everything. It solves every problem in the world.
I know you don't believe it.
Exactly. It's like
I do, because it's America. You see me with my Texas Rangers. It's America. Got to these colors don't blink.
Y'all spent the last year and a half scaring the dick off of everybody, talking about the fucking virus. Of course, if I can stay at home, and it only really is for like the very lowest of pay, where it kind of works out in your favor a little bit, where it's like, fuck it, I might as well take this unemployment. But, you know, if I'm scared of that, why the fuck would I take whatever minimum wage thing and go out and them type of jobs is not work from home, let me tell you.
Yeah. You know
so I got to take that, be amongst the people, maybe get COVID, or I could take this unemployment, sit my ass at home and not get COVID. And
that's what happens when you have.
Would not.
That's what happens when you have Democrats in office. They give, and it's bullshit give, but they give, and so this is what happens. Like, everybody, you get your money.
Hey, look, man. I say a lot of things about Joe Biden.
Okay.
You go ahead and wipe them student loans away.
Yeah, you gonna give that weight. You gonna give that weight.
Biden 24, baby. Biden 24.
Oh, 54 minutes in the motherfucking 15 seconds. That wink.
I'll make this commitment right now. If Joe Biden gets rid of my student loan debt, I will contribute to his campaign. I will get a Joe Biden T-shirt. I will be Joe Biden for Halloween, right? I'll even cut my hair to like be all.
So you're just gonna go to sleep. You're just gonna go to sleep for Halloween.
He's sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead and do whatever else you want.
Every man has a price.
I'm out of debt.
Every man has a price.
Yeah. Throw all the weed offenses in jail you want now, Joe. More private prisons. More private prisons, bitch. More private prisons.
Run this shit up,
man.
God damn. That wasn't even what we were segueing to. We segued to it similar to that. Hey, people, everybody that's out there, you do know COVID is still here, right? Now, I'm gonna share my experience with the shit. Now, I haven't, had COVID, but man, over this last week, well, actually, it's been a couple of weeks. Me and my son, we had went to a wrestling event. Go ahead, Simon. This is where you chime in right now.
Dickie.
Yeah, and so with that being said, with us going to that event, I'm looking around and people were wearing their masks, in obviously was everybody? No, were me and PJ, yeah, for the most part, right? And but I'm looking around, I'm like, man, it's like 15,000 people in this motherfucker. It's a lot of fucking people. You're at
a fucking super spreader event.
Yeah, somebody has this shit somewhere in there, right?
Oh yeah.
And so I kind of had my feeling about that, and recently, there was a very close call for me maybe to have COVID, right? And again, I'm not a you need to vax person, or I'm not that, right? I'm not a person that says well there's a conspiracy to do this, to do that, right? I'm not that person. Just I know me. I know what I feel internally, right? Mm-hmm. But with this scare, for me, anything that I do, it's if it gets close to home, then that's when I start to make adjustments, right? But if I hear, well, X amount of percent is this, or X amount of percent is that, or this, that, I kind of, I still do my research. I still do whatever it is I need to do to look at certain things. But when it starts to get close to home, it's like, okay, it can reach out and touch you, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously a lot of misinformation going on out there, a lot of politicking going on between politicians. It's just, to me.
Remember who the first anti-vaxxer was?
Who?
For the COVID vax, not vaccine. Kamala Harris. I saw that pointed out in the Guardian this week. In the Guardian, they were writing about the article was about unvaccinated. Unvax is more complicated than just we love Trump, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of the article, they were like, remember who the first anti-vax person? And they put a video down there of Kamala Harris saying that she wouldn't trust the vaccine because Trump had made.
And so there's a lot.
Now, fast forward, she gets in office, all of a sudden she's the main cheerleader for it. So
you see what I'm saying?
They just really
it's some bullshit.
That's a politician for you.
Yeah, and it's some bullshit, and really like shit, with like I said, with it getting close to home, like okay, I bit the bullet. Me and baby bit the bullet, and we went ahead and got the vaccine. So I'm like, And I don't necessarily feel good about it, but neither do I feel good about eating a goddamn cheeseburger at Jack in the Box at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's delicious, you know what I'm saying. But I know damn hair well it's gonna fuck me up the next morning.
Was the vaccine delicious?
I mean, the shit happened so quick. The shit happened so quick, but my arm been like, god damn,
Oh yeah, that all gonna be sore.
nigga.
That
You know
all
what I'm
gonna be
saying?
sore.
And like I said, I just took the first one. I did the Moderna one, but still, it's just like I hate the fact that I was kind of semi forced. Like I made the decision myself, right? But at the same time, I was semi forced to do it based on what I also see going on, right? I also see and what they're reporting, but I also see what's going on, and it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Okay. Look, if I can take a gas station dick pill, I can fucking take a damn vaccine real quick. Either way, I mean, if I'm gonna die off this shit, I'm finna die off this shit. Let's go. Let's get it. But it scared the shit out of me though. It
Yeah,
truly did.
and
Cause
like I said, oh god, my bad. I didn't mean to
well, I was
cut you
gonna
off.
say because this is the first time since the shit jumped off that I've actually been like,
Close
wait a minute.
proximity with somebody.
Well, close proximity with somebody, but like it actually phased me, right? Because
Yeah,
I quarantined, but I didn't really. You know what I'm saying? I don't get around people like that anyway. So, but it's still this is the first time where it was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
yeah. And I said, like I said, I was one. Me, I got fully vaccinated like back in March or April, March, I think.
right.
And trust,
Who
I was
who
on
baby
that.
is that?
I was on.
Who baby is that?
That's my baby. That's my
Yeah, I go ahead, go ahead.
Whitney got him back, got him in the other room. Yeah, I was one of the first, and trust, I was skeptical as fuck about that shit too. Like I said, you had to do your research, talk to a few of my people that are in the medical field, talk to our doctor while Whitney was pregnant, making sure all this shit was like checking out on the level, like because again misinformation and them we're feeling like they rushing this shit out and all that was all leading up to me. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get that first batch, like type shit. Like I was always on the fence. I'm not on the fence, but I was on the bubble. Like I'm gonna get it, but I just didn't want to get it like right when it first dropped. Like let me see for a couple of months or something like that, and see how these motherfuckers that are fully vaccinated, that are my friends and stuff like that, are how they're feeling and shit like that. How their side effects and all that shit is going. And then like I said, talking to some people that I know that are in healthcare and stuff like that, nurses and so a couple of doctors and stuff like that. And it was like, okay. And then my wife being pregnant, and me knowing that like I mount TVs, I go to other people's houses, and I'm in close proximity with people when I go to work a lot of time. And a lot of strange people. Sometimes I don't know these people. Might be one. One of my job might be on full work, the other one in Duncanville. And I don't know neither one of these motherfuckers. So being like that, and it's like I don't want to bring anything home to her.
Right.
She's pregnant, and it's like, well, at least let me get something that's gonna at least. I know it's not a cure all. It's not gonna deflect everything from it, but it's like at least give myself the best chance to not give her something, transmit something. So that kind of went into my thinking about doing this shit because at this point, when she's pregnant, she's working, and then with the pandemic, she's working 100% from home. I'm the one that's leaving.
Right.
So
Right.
if COVID came into the house, it would be because of me. So it's like that, but that makes that changes the motherfucking dynamic of the shit.
Yeah,
It's
like a motherfucker.
I was like, okay, let me like get my pride and shit out the way and actually do what's right for the family. And as I say, it's not 100%, but at least give myself the best chance where I don't bring this home.
Right. Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, I've always been of the same mindset that I'm not the guy to go first. Like, I'm not gonna try the first of anything. Like, no, not something that goes in my body. I mean, shit, I don't want first fucking iPhone. We know how that shit goes, right?
Right. Right.
On the iPhone updates, right? They put the iPhone update, everybody shit fucked up, and then 2 weeks later, it's Gucci. But
Patch.
so that's been my disappointment around the whole thing has been that and I was talking to my wife about this right before we went on. I was like, because I was reading an article that came out in the Washington Post today, where they were talking about the CDC, who has just changed they recently changed their mask thing.
They flip-flopping, they flip-floppers.
Yeah. So they recently changed their mask thing to vaccinated people, because at first they were like, oh, you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. They recently changed it back to wear a mask, but people were like, well, why? And so in the Washington Post, I think this was just today, article came out saying the reason why the Washington Post had obtained some CDC documents talking about the research, which is going to be, it's not a secret, like it's going to be fully released, like I think later this week. Well, I guess it's only one more day, or early next week, where they talk about they did research on vaccinated, because the shit. And I got a friend who works for Pfizer, like, and he was just telling me, he was like, it's moving, nigga. Like, it's not, it's not, he wasn't speaking against the vaccine at all, but he was just saying, like, niggas don't know everything. So basically the article was talking about how they did research and found out that vaccinated people can shed the virus, meaning transmit it, at the same rate as unvaccinated people, right? So now the whole moral of the article, it was two-pronged, right? And I can put it in the chat if people want to see the actual link to the article, because I encourage people to read it. Please do not read it vexes me. Don't read headlines or listen to somebody make a synopsis of the article, or somebody read a couple quotes.
I'm extremely vexed.
Because the context on shit is important, right?
Right.
And especially when the main reason I like to read my news is because I can think in turn. It's not passive. It's not coming to me. I can read it, read between the lines, think about each thing I'm reading, right? So read the article. I'll put it in the chat after I finish rambling. But basically, the moral of the article was two-pronged. One, that vaccinated people can spread it just as much as unvaccinated people. But the point that they were making was, well, they still encourage people to get vaxxed because they're saying it's more about personal protection rather than this idea of protecting the community because you got herd immunity. Like they literally said in there, we can forget about herd immunity. That's not happening. And to the extent that you take the vaccine, it's for personal protection, not meaning unvaccinated people are not destroying the world because they're spreading it and unvaccinated people aren't. So the main benefit of the vaccine would be to hopefully have a less severe infection, right? Which is good enough, right?
Right.
And so that's basically what they were talking about. And then the second part of it, which was a big part of the article as well, was criticizing, and this is the CDC criticizing themselves, so it's not the Washington Post, basically criticizing their communication of everything, right? Because they are recognizing now that they're losing trust because they aren't being honest up front with people. And so like the guy from the CDC was saying, like, we kind of oversold it as like this miracle vaccine where it's completely effective and you don't have to worry about anything, mainly because the moment was so unprecedented and they really wanted everybody to get vaccinated. And now with the actual research coming out, because make no mistake, this is a trial, right? So normally when drugs are released under emergency authorization, right, it's not FDA approved, right? They're still trying to get that. When it's released, they only release experimental drugs. Now they should call it experimental authorization, but they don't for obvious reasons, right? They call it emergency authorization. And that's where all the drugs that get released where you're on your deathbed and they're like, you want to try this pill? Because this is it, bro. Right. So basically everybody who's taking it, they're looking at which is what they should do. Looking at the research, trying to figure out, okay, what the fuck is going on? Because we didn't have time to look at this shit beforehand. And so basically they were just talking about how they've got to get better with communication and let people understand that it's not a cure-all. It's just something like Simon was saying to help give you better odds against it, rather than, oh, I took this and now I'm fine. Because you're not fine. Because they're telling you,
right? Because you can still swing around and get that over.
Because you're spreading it, and to an extent, they were saying like it's almost worse for vaccinated people because people get vaxxed, they catch now it doesn't mean you get vaxxed and you catch the virus. I'm not saying that, but if you do catch the virus and you're vaxxed and you have more limited symptoms, well, you are still going to go to that party, to that dinner, to that whatever. If you get it and you start feeling a little down, you might skip that dinner or that party or that game or whatever the hell you was going to go to.
It's kind of almost like a false sense of hope.
Yeah, so you actually spread faster to the extent that you have it, if you have it, because your symptoms don't kick in as fast and sometimes they're not as severe. So it's a complicated story, man. And now for my mind, the way my mind works, it says, okay, and I'm not blaming them for this, right? It's not me saying, oh, Pfizer and Moderna are trying to fuck everybody. They may be trying to help, right? But when you're trying to help under emergency circumstances, sometimes, you know, like shit gets whatever.
You're gonna
and so
miss some of the detail.
Yeah. And that, to me, that was expected. But the way my mind works, I say, okay, so you weren't completely sure about the positive impacts of it, but you're telling me you're completely sure about the negative impacts of it, even though you had the same amount of time to understand that. And they have had a lot of adverse events with it, right? This comes from Health and Human Services. They've had more adverse events reported for this vaccine than all the other vaccines they released combined, right? And so now that number, they don't know what the number is, right? So last time I checked, it was 12,000, but this is on a site called VAERS, which is Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System. And it's a self-reporting system. Mostly doctors use it. Some individuals know about it, but mostly doctors use it. But they estimate it's somewhere between 1 and 10% of what the actual number is, right? So it's much bigger, which you would expect because you gave it to hundreds of millions of people. So, I mean, what you don't expect. Now, that does not mean that everybody who took it is going to have the fucking situation that this between 12 and 100-something thousand people had. Right. Doesn't mean that. It means that they've had a lot of issues with it, but they don't publicize it because they don't want to scare motherfuckers into not taking the vaccine.
It's just like when that Johnson & Johnson had they shit and they had to pull that shit off the shelf, basically.
And again, it comes back to, like I said, like a personal choice. Like again, whatever happened to like just having your own fucking opinion about shit? Because lo and behold, I've driven a car drunk. I have driven a car high as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it's okay. Like if you feel the need to do something, do it. If you don't feel the need to do something, don't do it. But don't get mad at somebody else for either way. Like that, come on, man.
And I think it's it's kind of the new age thing, because like basically how we're doing this shit right now, we're doing this shit over the internet. So like the internet is a big influence on that type of thinking, where if you don't think the way I think, like you said, like Jamal was saying, just because motherfuckers don't want to get vaccinated doesn't mean I support Trump or I believe in science. Like it's just one of those. Like I personally don't like every vaccination. Everybody doesn't have to get every vaccination. That's like when SARS came out, which SARS is a part of COVID. Like I didn't get that back. Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't get that vaccination. You know, it was like, but I chose. It was out there to be released. I was like, no, I'm good. And maybe a little bit being naive and being younger and thinking I'm Superman and all that bullshit plays. Yeah, that plays a factor into it. I'm in great. I was still playing college ball and shit. It's like, nigga, what the fuck? I need that shit. Nigga, I'm in great shape.
Even the West Nile virus with mosquitoes. Did that stop you from going outside? No.
Yeah, and then we're getting to this point where we're in culture where we're in culture where it's like, and I get it that we're on our phones a lot of time of the day and shit like that. We're on social media, so we feel like and we can feel like we're in some kind of little bubble of people where it's just like you see just a lot of people agreeing and disagreeing, and there's no like. On the internet, there's no place for subtlety. So it's like a lot of shit gets lost in translation because motherfucker ain't trying to write no motherfucking paragraph. Because if you do that, most of the people gonna click off that shit. Like, man, I ain't trying to do all that reading right now. I just want to see some, what's up with my team or some shit like that or whatever. So that's what.
Exactly. And because at the end of the day, like I said, somebody get to writing them long ass paragraphs and shit, trying to convince me to do some shit. Let me explain something to you. I'm a hard headed motherfucker. I don't even listen to myself half of the time. You're not finna convince me outside of what the fuck I'm gonna convince myself, right? So,
Yeah.
but but again, it's just I don't like the scare tactics. I think they're stupid as fuck. I don't like how people try to put their beliefs on you and what you should do. That's stupid as fuck. I don't like how I feel that there's information that they could say about certain things, meaning like the government and media and shit like that, but they don't. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But again, it's something that individually you have to look at. Again, Simon, you did it. You said, "Hey, nigga, I was doing this before me and my family, right? I did mine for me and mine. Jamal ain't did shit, but he's like, man, like, hey, this is how we been like
But
this.
like motherfucker, I've been doing this for me and my family for the longest. So
Yeah, and he's not coming from some place that's dumb. He's not coming from some place that doesn't make sense. Like, nah, fuck that. Because again, like some people
my
are like,
HIPAA rights, my HIPAA rights.
hey, some people are lactose intolerant. So if I sit up here and say, nigga, have you had some cereal? And he's like, no, nigga, I have it because I'm lactose. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make them a bad person? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, nah, it doesn't. So it's just like again, a lot of this shit, and
a lot of this shit is made up, and these motherfuckers again, like it's something to like. I don't want to say, well, yeah, a lot of it is people being trolling and shit like that on the internet, but it's just a lot of this shit is just, we all think every man thinks they're right in their own mind for the most part. So it's hard to talk somebody off a ledge, especially when they feel like they're right. And, obviously Mr. Right. So it's just like it's one of those things where it's when somebody makes their mind up, it's just, take it for what it is. Sometimes especially if it's their opinion. Like and I said, you can pull from this and that and this, but if that's their opinion, you can't be mad at a man for having his own opinion and believing in that. Because every man needs to believe in something. So don't try to shit on me because, hey man, I don't agree with you on that. That's all I'm doing is not agreeing with you. I didn't say you were a piece of shit. I can say that, but I can say that.
Yeah. And the great words of the great philosopher, poet, rapper, Pimp C, you gonna get mad at me for how I feel? Well, be mad at me in a fight. Come with that. so
and
again,
you gonna smell my cologne.
And you gonna it's a Miyake. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The craziest thing to this whole thing is how crazy motherfuckers got or are over this shit.
Right.
Like it's like
weird.
Like it's like straight up vitriol. And me, I'm like kind of disconnected from shit. I'm not on Facebook, not on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, but y'all see my tweets. I tweet mostly about basketball and shit, right? About a team that nobody cares about at that. So like I don't really be seeing it. And in Twitter, you can kind of like I gotta just be following sports people. So it's like you don't necessarily see all the other shit that comes through. But with this shit, it's I like check the timeline. Motherfuckers like, oh, these anti-vaxxers, fuck them. There was one dude, this cat, who I'm friends with on Twitter, but he's from he lives in Baton Rouge, right? But he's a big Saints fan, so I'm friends with him on Twitter. And he's a great, like I consider him to be a great man. Like he does a lot for the community down there. Every Sunday he throws a big tailgate, but before that tailgate, they go out and feed the homeless people downtown, right? Every Sunday, every year, right? So, I would never disparage him because I have a lot of respect for him. But he was saying, like, he just didn't let the shit go through his fucking brain. And he said, yeah, I wish we could separate all the vax people and all the unvaxxed people except for the children, right? Because he has kids. And I'm like, well, it's not approved for kids under 12, so none of them have it. And so that's like 100 million kids. And last I checked, kids are a Wuhan lab in and of themselves.
Nigga.
Right? So I'm like, so how can you say separate all the unvaxxed people, but not the kids, but what the fuck you think the kid's gonna be doing? You're much
Right.
more likely to get it from a kid than an adult.
Then,
Right? If you ever seen kids at a daycare or little kids at a kindergarten,
They get
put
doing that
everything in their
shit.
mouth,
They
they're
get
sucking on each other's faces. It's
Yeah.
horrible. So if it's gonna spread anywhere, it's gonna be there, right? Now, thankfully, at least to this point, kids aren't dealing with it too bad. There's some cases with some kids who have, but it's limited, right? We're talking like, you know, less than 100, you know, in most states. So thankfully, a lot of kids have probably had it and brushed that shit off like it wasn't nothing, and you didn't even know they had it, right? But getting back to his statement, it's like the hysteria got to a point where you can basically say, I want to separate all the unvaxxed people except for this group of unvaxxed people, but they're still unvaxxed. So if that was your rationale, and all I told him on Twitter, I was like, you might want to just rethink the logic on this one. That's all I said to him. I was like, because you're not connecting the fucking dots. You're not connecting the dots here. And I know he would have like rationalized it and say, yeah, but kids don't have choice because it's not approved for them under a certain age. And, you know, but these people have a choice and they're choosing not to, and we're going to be fucked up. Well, now it's come out that you can still spread that shit vaxxed. But if you're comfortable getting vaxxed, still get vaxxed because it can help you personally. It's not going to help the community. You're still going to be carrying that shit around if you catch it at all. But you may not get terribly sick, which may be worth it to you. So, so that aspect to me was crazy, and it shows how like, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not on social media hard like that, because, and it doesn't mean that you're on social media this is going to happen to you, because some people just think for themselves, but there's an echo chamber in there. There's an echo chamber in there. You can just hear shit, hear people saying stuff. It's like going to like I'mRight.com every day. I'mRight.com, like, and you never hear the counter argument. Or if you do hear the counter argument, it's somebody sending like the most ridiculous of the motherfucking arguments. You know what I'm saying? They're sending the motherfucker talk about his HIPAA rights and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever other crazy, you know, they're trying to depopulate or whatever. You know. So whereas it could just be motherfuckers being like, yeah, I don't want to take a new medicine.
Right.
And that's it. And you know, but
I'm scared.
But
I'm scared for I got an underlying issue that I'm scared this vaccine might flare up or some shit like that.
But then also, hey, let me get yes, can I get surf and turf? Do you guys can you make it bloody? That kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? It all plays a part.
It just first of all, like nothing, and it's why I totally rejected the whole premise of the argument that I got to do it for the rest of these niggas. Number one, we were never in this together at all, at any time, at any period. We're not in it together. We're a bunch of individuals who are stuck together because of where we were born. But we don't agree on shit half the time. We don't like each other half the time. So I didn't accept it for that reason. But the main reason I didn't accept it is because there is never a time where the collective supersedes my own personal sovereignty as an individual to make decisions for myself. Right. Yeah. It doesn't matter about any other shit of we'll help us stop. There's never a time where the collective overrides my own decision making in terms of I have to do it for them, because guess what? Say there was, and I hope to God.
He done froze up. But like he was making a very good point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the collective of what people are what people are doing, right? Like again, we're gonna make that decision individually.
At all times.
Yeah, I'm not you know, I'm not that kind of guy, you know what I'm saying, and to be in a situation where I go, well, if the vast majority is saying something, I'm gonna do it. I'm not that kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? And so going back to what you were saying, Joel, the collective.
Oh yeah, so there's never a time where the collective overrides my own personal sovereignty to make decisions about, especially my own person, my own body. Like I was telling somebody else, I'm like, if you don't have sovereignty over your own body in terms of making decisions, what what rights can you really claim? If
Right.
you can't claim that right of I want that in here, I don't want that in here. You know what I'm saying? What rights do you have? You don't have anything at all if you can't control what you put in your body under your own choice. You know, so I always threw that argument out of it's like, no, I'm a fucking human being because guess what? And I hope to God that nothing does go wrong with the vaccine because, like I said, my sister's taking it, you know, lots of family members, lots of friends. So I have no vested interest in the shit being bad. Right. But say I was one of those people I was telling y'all about on the HHS site that had a very negative reaction to it. Are any of these motherfuckers on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter going to come help me? No, no. In the same vein, what if you know, Simon would have had a bad reaction to COVID had he not taken a vaccine? Are any of these non-vax motherfuckers arguing on Facebook going to come help him?
Nah.
If he has a bad case of COVID. So at the end of the day, because you have to deal with the consequences of your decisions on your own, at least on your own, plus the few people in your inner circle, then the decision also needs to be made there. Because none of the motherfuckers are going to be there at the hospital to help you if you have a situation based on a decision you made or didn't make.
To digress, to get back to it, like one thing, the thing that I always teach PJ, right? You know, we laughing about you guys and your infants earlier, but one thing that I always see PJ is, bruh, whatever decision that you make the decision, deal with the consequences. Again, my test results, the third test results, didn't come back until like 6 o'clock this morning, right? But you know, I'm talking to PJ last night, and you know, I'm looking at him. You know, he FaceTime me and shit like that. You know, he's concerned, and so you know, and it reiterates everything that I've always taught. But at the same time, you know, I even told him then I was like, you know, I told him, hey, no, I took the vaccine because you know a couple of other tests came back negative. I took the vaccine, boom, boom, boom. He was like, well, you know, should am I gonna take the vaccine? I was like, bruh, look, I'm gonna put it to you this way. And yes, he's only 13, but fuck it. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. Hey, if you feel the need that you really need to take that, then I will support you. If you don't feel the need, God damn it, then don't do it. Don't let me, don't let anybody else like try to put you in a situation. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and his mama got to come to a mutual agreement about certain shit because you know she's not an anti-vaxxer to like where she's like forcing it, right? But it's just like, okay, let's have a conversation about it, and you know if whatever he wants to do, like he wants to do it, and that goes back to what you were saying, Mal, where it's like, come on, like again, you got all these other people, you know. Hey, listen, man, if you feel the need to do some shit. Yeah. If you feel the need to do some shit, like y'all laugh at me for eating Taco Bell. I happen to love the fucking chalupas. God damn it, y'all kiss my ass.
Not in Texas, bro. Not in Texas. That's my problem. If you lived in Idaho and you ate Taco Bell, I wouldn't fuck with you. But,
what do you
do?
Yeah, go get you a street taco. Go
get you a street taco. I'm not gonna get a street taco. The goddamn Taco Bell was less than a mile away from the house. Then, God damn it, I'm getting the Taco Bell.
There's 25 Mexican restaurants between you and Taco Bell, no matter where you at. Even if you're standing right next to it. Go to one of them bitches.
Fuck that.
Go to Glorious, man.
Oh my God. Oh. Hey, there's one right over here by the house. I ain't tried yet though. Ooh, we'll talk about it later. But you know, again, it goes back to that. Like, come on, like it's okay to have an opinion, people. I'm looking dead in the camera right now. It's okay to have an opinion. It's okay,
and it's okay for that to be different from everybody else.
It's okay. I promise you, it is fine. It is 100% okay. Like people are getting like. I make it a purpose, right? I know I cuss a lot, right? But my cussing a lot didn't happen until people started telling me stop cussing. Wait a minute. As a kid, I could not wait to get older so I can cuss. So you're trying to sit up here and tell me I can't cuss now? Fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so that's my thing. Like it's horrible.
Hey, where's the balance with this shit?
Come on.
Like everything is everything's a fucking extreme. It's like, no, there's nuance. What happened to fucking nuance? Like nobody wants to deal with nuance anymore.
Did it die with Tupac?
Yeah, it might have. Like it's one of those where details. I hate the phrase the devil's in the details, but no, like man, the actual good is in the detail. That's where you learn the gist of a story, and that's where the funniest jokes are. That's where the most content is. Like just how Jamal was saying, like I like to read my news so I can get basically the nuance of what the fuck is going on.
God forbid you click on the headline. God forbid.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, we've all gotten sucked in by a headline and this and that shit like that. We all have. Or fucking taking somebody's quote and taking somebody they had talk for 15 minutes, but taking fucking 15 words he said and running with it. We've all done it. Yes, I'm not saying I'm above reproach, but goddamn, when motherfucker gives you the full length of what's going on, be able to sit there, ingest that, take it in, fucking let it run through your brain, and then formulate a fucking opinion. But if you're just still stuck on my fucking thing, I was right, and you see now that you're completely fucking wrong, it's like, nigga, it's like me talking to this fucking wall. Like, what are we fucking doing here?
And it's okay to be wrong.
Man, it's wrong okay all the time.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong. It's just how you respond to how you are wrong. Like again, I don't like I say this phrase and I say it in many different scenarios, right? I don't argue with logic. If it makes logical sense, all right, cool. I'm gonna ride with it, right? I don't argue with it. And so a lot of times people now, shit, I don't know. I can't speak 30 years ago, but a lot of people now, it's okay to say, and even, with everybody with the mask and shit, it's okay to say, you know what, we fucked up. We fucked up. We probably should have told you motherfuckers you couldn't walk out here with this mask because we thought we scared everybody enough to go, okay, everybody's going to get vaccinated. They found out that they didn't. It's okay to go, hey, you know what? We fucked up. Everybody put the mask back on for a little bit. Because
especially motherfuckers, the powers hate to say that though.
Yeah, but I'll put it to you this way. Raise your hand if you like wearing a mask. All right. Shit. Yeah, and shit gets on my fucking nerves. God damn it, especially if I gotta wear a mask and I ain't brushed my teeth that morning. I gotta go out to my car and then go to the gas station real quick. So I gotta smell my whole ass right here. You know what I'm saying? I gotta smell my shit right. Oh, really? That's the one? Or I've been drinking all motherfucking day, and then I got a hint of French fry and a hint of alcohol, and then a hint of ass, and I gotta smell that shit right. Don't nobody like to do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So these masks they fucking suck. But I understand. Like and this was our kind of we in our little group that we like I said we don't argue with logic and don't if the science says like there's been a reason why there's been that flu and the cold and all that shit's been down. Over the years, because motherfuckers was in the house, and then when they were out, most motherfuckers were masked up, so motherfuckers wasn't spreading droplets and this and that and all over the fucking place, and like with the hand sanitizer like that. But I was doing that shit before fucking COVID, so like just looking at that shit like, oh, y'all niggas are finally caught up. So it was like, but it was one of those like, no, motherfuckers actually had to clean themselves for a whole year, and magically, motherfucking, a lot of motherfuckers stopped getting sick. Yeah, because a lot of you motherfuckers is dirty motherfuckers. That's just facts.
Well, so you ain't even washing your ass. Hey, speaking of, real quick, I thought about breaking this shit up. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, you some nasty motherfuckers.
I'm nasty motherfuckers.
I'm just leaving right there. You motherfuckers is nasty as hell. Gonna clean your kids when they get dirt on their motherfucking ass.
That's nasty, bro. Like, first of all, Mila Kunis, I'll never look at her sexually again. Like
ever. She immediately dropped out my top 50. You know what I'm saying?
Like I can't because like especially for women, they got so much going on down there. Like you gotta scrub that a little bit, like
Hey, nigga, your pH balance is off, bitch.
And just as a dude, like, you know what I'm saying? After you've been out for a whole day, especially if you've been outside a little bit and like some sweating is going on and all kind of shit, it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? If you know you're gonna get some head or something, like you go home real quick and you gotta.
Yeah, you gotta get it up.
You tidy up a little bit.
Yeah,
they said tidy.
Because over the course of the day, things can get. It's a human body. Shit happens, right? So literally. But yeah, them kid. I mean, I don't know how old their kids are, but
it doesn't matter how old the fucking kids are. If
it don't matter.
Your kids are getting dirt on them.
You can see the dirt. I'm like, it's too late then, bro. Like,
yeah,
that motherfucker. If you can see the dirt, that motherfucker got gangrene.
And and that's a very white thing to say, right? If you can see the dirt.
You know how Prince Jason was like, "Fucking had to be white people."
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Shout out to Jason. That's exactly what he said. God damn it, he couldn't say that.
What is this? Because and I want to say. Obviously, I guess it is a culture thing. Like in my house, like you couldn't go nowhere funky, dirty. Like nigga, what?
Nigga.
If you go outside looking like that, nigga, my mom was, nigga, you representing me.
Yeah, people gonna think I ain't shit because my son walking around.
Yeah, and that's real life shit. And I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna go to the after show. But I used to tell PJ before he got it together, right? I used to tell PJ, I was like, "Say, dog, nigga, you smell like a menstrual cycle. You need to get your ass in that goddamn bathroom. Then go wipe your shit out. Like, say, dog, I'm gonna need you to get up in here real quick, cause nigga, you stink. You know what I'm saying?"
Yeah, that's one of those things. Come on, man. You cannot not wash your ass.
Nigga, wash your ass, cuz.
Wash your ass. Especially, dog, we're still in a pandemic. Y'all talk about not washing your ass? Are you fucking serious? That's why I said, nigga, a lot of dirty motherfuckers, man.
Last thing I'll say about the whole thing is the last thing I'll say about the COVID thing is people gotta have one. I was talking to this dude who I write on that Pelican site with early this morning, and he was saying, he's like, "Oh, I can't believe people." I was like, "Bro, there's 7 billion people on the planet, 350 million of them in the country. Like, you can't worry about what all of these motherfuckers doing because you're never gonna get that many people to agree with you on something. It just don't work that way." I was like, you thinking about all that shit. I said, worry about the 6 inches in front of your face because that's what you can control and deal with. Worry about all these motherfuckers because you're reading on social media, people talking shit about this and that. Like, you can't control any of that. And I was like, you can be mad at them because the whole conversation was about him being angry at them people, me, right? Him being angry at them. And I was like, that doesn't really serve you in any kind of way. You just carrying anger and bullshit around for some shit that you can't control.
You're choosing to be angry.
Yeah, for some shit you can't control. And I was like, just worry about you and your family trying to make the best decision to protect y'all. And that's all you can do. Because that's the motherfuckers you care about anyway. You don't really care about all 350 million of these motherfuckers if you're being serious, right? We just laughed about the guy getting stoned to death with a gun, right? I don't care about that dude. I don't want him to die just off human rights type shit, but I don't give a fuck.
Stone him!
Your death was funny. It was funny to me. I laughed at it. Right? So, and I'll just close. You gotta be humble in your opinions. There's a reason why when y'all got vaxxed, because some people on this, they take the side thing and somebody gets it and then they want to send them every article, right? Send them every article talking shit about this, that, and the other. And it's like, first of all, number one, if somebody's your friend and they make a decision, you ain't got to agree with it, but you just respect it and move on. There's no
move on.
And the reason you do that is because you got to be humble about it. Is say, okay, I think I'm in the right here, but they could also be in the right because I've been wrong many times. So if I've been wrong in the past ever, then that means I could be wrong right now.
Ever.
And so then why argue somebody down for making another decision when they may have made the right decision? And you won't know until later or whatever, but have some humility and then also have respect for the person to be like, you made the decision. I'm not going to bother you about the fucking decision. It's made, it's done, respect it, and move on. And that's it.
Period.
I said, it's at the end of the day, like, because I mean, like, yeah, you said that's your friend and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, that does it really just tangibly affect you in any way? Like, if you feel a certain way about something else, or like I said, you're being vaccinated, don't be vaccinated. If you feel a certain way, like, hey, if you still want to be away, then be away. Then things are still going to go as they should, because shit has been going that way. We've been in a pandemic for over a year now, so motherfucker, it's gonna go regardless of how you feel. So, like, just like, man, understand that shit, man. And like I said, man, respect the motherfucker's decision.
It's like our boy Mike says. What does he say? Like when he not about to argue with you no more. You got it or something.
Right on.
Right on. Right on. And nigga say
that could have been summed up right on.
Yeah. That nigga say right on. It's a rap. Cause
that nigga is not listening to you. That nigga is not listening to you at all, and will stop responding.
For 17 days. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Already. 166, man. We back in this bitch. Shit, we'll see y'all again very, very soon. Man, Straight Meddlin Show. We got this thing.